The Midwest glass industry has spawned incredible innovation, new technologies, and corporations across the globe. A case in point, I'm here at First Solar, one of the nation's largest solar energy companies, a multi-billion-dollar manufacturer, headquartered in Tempe, Arizona, with 3 operational global manufacturing sites. I'm here to meet Mike Koralewski, the Chief Supply Chain Officer at First Solar. Thanks so much for being with me.
Thank you, Kristi. Glad to be here.
So here we are at one of your operational plants here, and I want to hear a little bit more about what your products are and what you make here.
Sure, so absolutely. So we make solar panels, obviously. It's a glass-on-glass panel, so we actually use 2 pieces of glass, and in between that piece of glass, we put a semiconductor, and our semiconductor is different than most everyone else in the industry, where we use a thin film technology that is both responsibly and transparent supply chain sourced.
So Mike, who are your biggest customers here at First Solar?
So our biggest customers are actually utility players. When you go past the large utility scale markets that actually tie directly to the grid, that's where we play very well in the market.
So on this show of Business Life 360, we're talking about the glass industry and the impact that it's had. So glass obviously is a key component to all of the products that you make here. How so?
So we wouldn't be here without glass. We need glass for our technology specifically. It's what we actually deposit our semiconductor on top of, and it's what gives us our 40-year warranty from the durability of the glass, the ability to source it in the Midwest close to our factories and things like that actually helps us with our growth strategy over the time. There's really no better material for our technology from the substrate and the cover than glass.
Now, First Solar has deep roots in Ohio, in the Midwest, and it continues to grow and innovate and develop new technologies. So tell us about it. Got the number $1.5 billion of investment that you have made in your manufacturing facilities and your plants. So tell us where those are located.
So that $1.5 billion is actually just since August of 22,
Really?
And that's just in the U.S. alone. We have invested, obviously, in the U.S. A really neat piece that we have done just across the street from where we're standing today is about a $270 million investment in an R&D facility, which is the first of its kind in the U.S. Additionally, we have manufacturing centers in active operationally in Vietnam, Malaysia. We have one coming up in India, and we just broke ground on one outside of Decatur, Alabama.
That is incredible. Continuing to grow.
We're very excited about it.
Indeed. So this is a big sustainability play, really. All the things that you're doing in terms of greenhouse emissions, the electric grid, some of the things that you're doing there. Also, there's some renewable and recycled glass that you're using to make new solar panels.
All of our glass that we use in the process, we are actually able to recycle that if it was scrap. We can use it back at our float plants, or we actually sell it into the glass container industry or glass bead industry for recycled use. We're actually able to recycle about 90% of all of our material in our solar panel.
That's incredible.
We're pretty proud of that.
Mm-hmm. And you think about what glass has done to really spawn new industry. So there's another example, the renewable, recyclable.
Absolutely, it's a big piece of who we are and how we operate. We believe that you can't bring solar by itself without having a sustainable circular economy aspect taken into account.
Well, and you talked earlier a little bit about the supply chain and how there's probably a radius of supply chain companies that you are working with near here.
Yes.
So a lot of those also were Midwest roots.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you look at a few of them in the glass industry specifically, NSG. We work initially with their Ottawa, Illinois facility, which is not too far away. And our growth actually spawned an investment in a new float in the U.S. not too far from here in Lucky, Ohio, that is fully dedicated to our expansion here. And we're working with them on future growth of some of their existing floats to transform them from older technology into the new technology for the solar industry.
And we talk about the cost of solar panels. How has that been impacted over the last, let's say, decade or so?
When I look at the cost from when I started to where we're at today, it has dropped, in significant orders of magnitude. I remember when it used to be when $1 a watt was a key metric, to get below.
So what does First Solar's technology roadmap look like as we go into the future?
So our technology roadmap always looks bright in solar, right? Well, I look at it and we're going to continue to grow our core technology efficiency, so the amount of light that actually transforms into electricity, we're going to continue to improve that. We're going to look at different technologies such as tandem technology, where we're actually working with two different semiconductor films together. In all of those instances, though, glass will play a role in that as the core piece as the core infrastructure for where we move forward.
And speaking of glass as an industry, where do you see glass and the impact of glass on the global economy in the future?
You know, when we look around, we're standing in front of glass today with glasses coming down our line today. We have glass in our cars, we have glass everywhere. When you look at glass across the world, it's something that will continue to grow, and we're going to have to watch. You know, a lot of the infrastructure around the industry is decades old. We need to continue to look at how to invest in that and change it, you know, to an improved technology, you know, whether it's through hydrogen sourcing or things like that from fuel efficiencies to get better sustainability about that product as well.
Okay, so Mike, when you are on Business Life 360, we do something called Quick Hits, which is also rapid fire questioning. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, this helps our viewers to get to know you a little bit better. And you're running First Solar, so we'd like them to get to know you better. Here we go. Okay, what was your first job?
My first job was actually working at a golf course, picking up the range balls.
Nice. First concert?
Ooh. Man, I don't know. It was a small group out of Cleveland called Odd Girl Out back in the late 80s.
So where do you want to be in 20 years?
In 20 years, I would like to be in a river fishing, I think is where I would like to be.
Fly fishing?
With my wife, yes, fly fishing, yep.
Very nice. The best part about working at First Solar?
My boss. I think overall it's the people. I think the people are really what makes it fun, and the industry and the mission that we deliver on, right? It's great to be part of something that's driving sustainable, something that we can, you know, look better in the future with. So I really like the mission and vision that we stick with here.
Mm-hmm. Favorite city in the world?
Toledo, Ohio.
Love the answer. And if you weren't working in this field, what career would you be in?
A history teacher.
Ah, very nice, interesting. Well, Mike Koralewski from First Solar, thanks so much for having us here today.
Thanks, Kristi, appreciate the time.